Everyone loves a comeback story. Rocky, take that, Crocs apparently. And now this, because the Ford Capri is back. And no, it's not the same Capri that your dad used to brag about owning down the pub in the 80s, because this time it's all electric. And in this video, we're going to delve deeper in to the return of the Ford Capri and see if it's a genuine electric icon or a Ford just simply cashing in on nostalgia. Now let's start with design, because the Capri isn't a coupe anymore. Sorry to any purists out there. It's in fact a coupe styled SUV, has a rather crossover body to it. Now think of it like the Capri went on a bit of a gap year and come back with an entirely new personality. But in this case it's a change for the better, because in today's modern car world this is a lot more functional. Yes, it would be nice if Ford actually brought back the Capri in its old look with that classic retro and very much nostalgic design. But today's modern car world, would it actually work for the many? I don't think it would. From the front end you have what I feel is a rather retro inspired look. Slim headlights, bold Ford badging on the front and a fairly sharp and large front grille. Now I say that in quotation marks because EVs are notorious for not actually having a front grille, rather just a bit of a band that goes across. All in all, I think it's a good look, and if you do squint hard enough, come on join me, squint, I feel like you can see some essence of the old Capri in it. Down the side then and across all trims of the new Ford Capri you get 19-inch alloy wheels, so no matter what trim you're not going to be left with them sad little steel wheels that some car manufacturers like to do from their base spec. 19-inch across the board. You have this sleek silhouette and it's very clear the size upgrade from its retro counterpart. It's a crossover stance, crossover body, but still has a bit of a coupe essence about it. The way that back slopes down to a slight spoiler effect, so kind of gives it a bit of a sporty edge. Step inside and this is where the Capri really ramps up its gears. Theoretically, because it's an electric car, it doesn't technically have gears, so stop being pedantic. Because in the interior, it's proper modern, because across all of the Ford Capri range, you have this large 14.6-inch infotainment system, which almost feels like you've got a brand new iPad glued to your dashboard. It almost feels too big, which I feel is quite a nice compliment to have, and a bit of almost a first world problem. Oh, my infotainment screen is too big. And I feel like the size of that infotainment system almost draws away from your digital dash. You still have a digital dash, 5.3 inches, but with how large that is, and then compared to that, it almost makes the digital dash feel a bit below par. Still does everything you need to, integrates your adaptive cruise control settings, traffic sign recognition, and shows all your important stats that you need when you're out on the drive. Because of that, that now almost feels like a second thought, if you get what I mean. So the size of the infotainment system is rather generous. What also is generous is the amount of features you actually get from the base spec. Adaptive cruise control with stop and go, lane keep assist, multiple driver modes, rear privacy glass, rear view camera. It's a real sense of value for money. Go up to the next spec and then you're treated to wireless phone charge pad, heated seats and heated steering wheel. So it has a real sense of value for money. And as for the look, well, I mentioned about the infotainment system, which is kind of the main centerpiece, but the contrasting colors, this speaker which runs all the way across your dashboard, the sloping down accents on your doors, and the actual patterns on these sports style seats, bringing back that old Ford Capri DNA. This interior almost doesn't feel like what the exterior looks like. The exterior looks kind of premium, a bit sleek. You almost would second guess it as a bit of a upmarket family car, as you will, almost like a soccer mum might drive. In here, it's a completely different story. It feels even more premium, that exterior design. And everything just feels like it's laid out rather well. There isn't particularly that much storage in your door cards, because the majority is taken up by that sloping down design, which I'm not opposed to. I just think more storage down here would have been nicer. Saying that, you do actually have two nice slots to keep your phone. If depending on your spec, you will get that wireless phone charging pad, and you also have deep pockets in the center console. The infotainment system, you will get built-in sat-nav, wireless, Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, again from standard, all your driver settings, and it'll also display your rear view camera, available across all specs. The only quarry with that rear view camera is I feel like they could have taken up a bit more of the screen. It only takes up this small section at the top. I feel like we utilise that space a bit more and have the camera run across there, then the actual sensors across there. Again, a first world problem. You still got reverse cameras from the base spec. Higher models can add luxuries like panoramic sunroof, hands-free tailgate, and even massaging seats. Yes, that's right, a Capri. That gives you a massage. Your dad certainly didn't have that in 1979.
The rear seats reflect the Capri's design with a complete reflective look. Plenty of space for free kids or potentially free adults with its rather giving wheelbase. USB-C chargers and air vents are available in the rear to prevent any road trip drama. Isofix points installed either side, making it a space and comfortable space for any rear passengers.
Now, the original Ford Capri wasn't exactly the most practical, unless your idea of practicality is how many leather jackets kind of fit in the rear. The new all-electric Capri, completely different story. Because underneath your tailgate, you have 572 litres of boot capacity. Drops ever so slightly to 567 on the all-wheel drive version. Plenty of space and storage, removable floorboards underneath, perfect for your charging cables or to hide anything from your kids if you want to. And there is also one little feature which I quite like, which would be perfect for an IKEA trip. And that being this little beauty. The amount of flat pack you could get through there. Practicality in abundance. This would also be a great family vehicle considering the child locks work perfectly fine. Because I'm currently locked in. Help!
So the new Capri might be a lot more practical for the family than that 1980s classic, and certainly a lot more safer for housing kids in the rear.
I've actually locked myself in.
And the Capri's modern day rebirth has had a clear alteration to what lies under the bonnet.
Right then, let's talk numbers, because you get 3 battery options depending on your trim. A 52 kilowatt hour producing up to 243 miles of electric range, 77 kilowatt hour producing a whopping 389. And on the all-wheel drive version, a slightly larger 79 kilowatt hour battery producing an electric mile range of 346. Them stats aren't bad at all, and that 389 figure isn't just impressive by Ford standards, it's impressive across the EV market. 389 miles of electric range almost puts the Ford Capri on top. Charging is quick too, 10 to 80% in as little as 25 minutes with a rapid charger. Perfect for grabbing a coffee and pretending you're not actually just loitering at a service station. So the Capri may have grown up, but it's not thirsty. In fact, it doesn't drink at all. Performance wise, and you have a range of options. Entry levels with that smaller motor produces 0 to 60 time in around about 8.7 seconds. Mid-spec versions will produce 0 to 60 time in around 6.5. Opt for the top spec all-wheel drive version and you get a rather surprising and impressive 0 to 60 time of 5.3 seconds, which is certainly quick enough to forget that the Ford Capri is actually now a family car.
On the road, it feels solid, smooth and composed. Yes, it's not a sports car, let's get that straight. But it's quiet, refined, and surprisingly nimble for something this size. The steering's light, visibility is decent, and with 5 driving modes you can go from eco-conscious cruising to something a little spicier. Think of it as a Capri for the sensible grown-up, but one who still secretly wants to beat their mate's Golf GTI off the lights.
So then, the new all-electric Ford Capri. Is it the same Capri that your dad would constantly bang on about and tell you so many stories about? Not exactly, because the old Capri was built for fun, it was built for flair. The new Capri is built for families, it's built for practicality. But here's the thing, it actually works. It's stylish enough, it's modern enough, it's practical enough, and also quick enough. And the range is also surprisingly competitive. Prices start at just under 40,000 and rise up to 56.5 on that all-wheel drive variant. So there's certainly more Capri than its retro counterpart. But here's the thing, this comes with adaptive cruise control, a large infotainment system, panoramic sunroof, heated seats and steering wheel. Hey, it even comes with massaging seats. Now the 1979 version certainly didn't do that. So is it a proper Capri reborn? Purists will say no, but everyone else, it's a modern, practical family EV that certainly has the right balance of practicality and retro charm.
Love it or hate it, the Capri is back to some degree. Just don't expect it to be the car you always promised yourself. Unless of course you promised yourself you'd one day drive an EV with a boot big enough for 3 Labradors. And if you want to find out more about the new all-electric Ford Capri, then contact your nearest Perry's Ford dealership.